Welcome back, you guys. I am Mandy Goobler. This is my husband, Court. We are on episode 3 of the Merc Renovation.
On this episode, we're going to talk about the doors, floors,
exterior, and the windows.
My favorite is the exterior.
Yeah, you have a deep personal connection with the exterior.
Me and the brick, we get along.
The exterior of the Merc, when we bought it, can be described as offensive.
Terrible.
It's horrendous.
You have to have a big vision to see past the front of the Merc.
When I saw the Merc, I knew it could be amazing. There are some really great historic pictures, and that was like my jumping off point. I wanted to take it back as original as possible. So we got started by chipping off plaster and stucco to reveal the original brick.
I thought this would take maybe 4 hours, at the most 8 hours of chipping this stucco off.
So cute. It was like dragging and dragging until we found the original sign. Ah! Oh my God!
And then Mandy started freaking out, literally.
Literally freaking out. I was doing an Insta story and I was like, you guys, the original sign. And so Court, he like ripped that sign off in
It was
2
crazy.
hours.
I mean, I wanted to see how it was too, so.
You like giggled. You were so happy. When we finally started getting it off, the brick underneath was really scarred. So we had to repair and clean up the original brick.
So the technique that finally ended up working was a flat disc on a grinder.
We just really lightly went over the wall.
I just wanted to take off enough that I got past the gouges.
I really wanted the building to feel clean and new, even though it was historic. So we ended up using white stucco. All of our windows, the frames are black. Our front doors are this perfect shade of green. And we are using 100-year-old cedar to kind of trim everything out. And then we're recreating the original garage doors. When we found the original sign, kind of had to change up the lighting placement a little bit. We ended up using sconces on either side of our front door. I was at Home Depot and they have these bulkhead lights that are in stock. They are $16 and they are perfect.
And you were looking all over the place for them, and you'd see these at other places and they were way more
Hundreds
expensive.
of dollars for bulkhead lighting.
Yeah.
So we put 2 of those on either side of the front door and it just looks so welcoming. It's just like the best little design feature. The exterior of the Merc was as historically accurate as we can make it. And we wanted to make sure that the interior also was, and that starts with our floors. The floors in all of the main hallways, kitchen, bathrooms, is all 1-inch hex tile, which is very, very historically accurate for a building from 1930. I love white floors, but I wanted to make sure that there was some differentiation between the spaces so it didn't all feel like one giant space. In the kitchen, we did this hand-laid diamond pattern. It looks wildly expensive, but it wasn't. It's just basic tile. We just put a pattern in, chipping out individual tiles.
Well, I'm glad how you said we. Made me feel good.
Of course, it didn't help at all with the tile.
I don't even feel bad about it.
We also did a hand-laid pattern in our daughter Ivy's bathroom. We used 1-inch square tile in there. It looks awesome. All of the white hex tile that we use is from Doll Tile. You can get it on HomeDepot.com. The thing that I love about it is that it's unglazed and the color goes all the way through the tile. So if it ever chips or scratches or anything, the color doesn't change at all.
Which if you drop tools a lot, like I do, constantly.
We have all the tile in all of our main walkways. In our bedrooms, we did hand-laid wood flooring.
A technique that I've used is I say, Mandy, what do you want? She tells me, and then I just do it.
It's literally just slabs of wood that we laid in a pattern and nailed down. I had a whole bunch of readers send me pictures of their favorite wood floors. The pattern in Ivy's room is based off of that. The pattern in Dylan's room is kind of a modified herringbone. That style is very popular in European homes. Our plan is to leave the wood completely raw. We are not finishing it at all. We are not putting any wax on it. We are not staining it. I want to know what happens. You know, 100 years ago, you just would put the floor down and then you would live on it and it would wear and it would have like these traffic patterns in it. The history of the home was shown in the floors and I love that. So I don't know, worst case scenario, they get ruined and we have to sand them down and then we can put a clear coat or a wax.
Worst case scenario, I have to go buy a bigger belt sander. It's not that big of a deal.
We shouldn't overlook the power of putting a little bit of time into creating something. We couldn't buy floors like this. Like they don't exist.
I think that's why I like them, because this is just something that we've done.
Yep.
And it's totally I mean, you guys can do it too. It's really simple to do.
I never considered myself someone who loved molding. I always kind of gravitated more toward like a clean, simple style, but the Merc has completely changed my heart on that. I want molding on every surface.
She does.
Our doors are from Jeld-Wen. We ordered them from Home Depot. They are perfect. They have the best molding on them. The Merc has to flow with these doors because they are like the star of the space. So we just put molding everywhere so that the doors fit in. I found this really great inspiration picture of box molding that I loved, and it was really unique because the boxes were massive. They just had a really thin, like 1-inch gap between all of them. I loved it. So I went to Home Depot, of course, like I do, 9 times a day. I got in stock base cap and just used that. The baseboard needed to be really beefy. It needed to have like some substance to it so that it wasn't just lost on these tall walls that have other molding on them. To cut costs, we used 2 different pieces of molding. A door header on the bottom part, and then we just used like the really, really basic in-stock molding, and we just stacked them, and they look so good.
It turned out really well.
Yeah.
And you would think that you would see the transition between the header and the baseboard. You don't see it at all.
The big storefront windows are something that I was 100% not gonna change.
It drives me crazy.
Why?
Because you could have double paned windows, way more energy efficient, and you're not gonna be hearing cars.
Doesn't matter. They're original, you guys. For all of the glass that is east facing that gets direct sunlight, we used Smart Sun glass. It blocks out tons of the UV rays, heat transference. It's awesome. And then on the south side of the building, we used low E glass. The great thing about Andersen is that they are able to customize exactly what you need. And they're beautiful. We get more comments on our windows than anything else.
Oh.
People driving by, they love them.
And my physique. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching this episode.
Next episode, we are diving into our kitchen. So we're talking countertops, sinks, cabinetry, appliances. It's gonna be awesome. Make sure that you tune in.
Get those out of my face. What is going on with those? Those are dangerous. Those have a warning on them?
Probably.